Hello and welcome to another episode of the News on Maps series. We have covered over the last many episodes the regions which have been in the news. We have tried to cover them through the help of MCQs and on maps. So as I always request you before the beginning of any episode, try to have a book of maps, that is Atlas, either digitally or have through the manual mode. Okay. So hard copy or digital, whatever is available with you, digital is better nowadays because it gives more clarity and more remembrance. So let's try to begin with our first question, which was the practice question. Many of you have answered it correctly in the comment segment, I saw that. But let's try to solve it for those who have not got it correctly or who want to confirm their answer. The question says that excluding Russia's Far East region and the Arabian Peninsula, the rest of Asia and its offshore and near seas areas can be combined to form an almost circle-like shape. So what will you find almost in the center of this circle? Again, I am repeating in bits and parts with the help of the map. Excluding Russia's Far East region. So we have not to include Russia's Far East region. So from here we have to start because Arabian Peninsula is also, I think, in the sentence. And the Arabian Peninsula. Arabian Peninsula also we have to let go of. So not Far East region, not Arabian Peninsula. These are, so we are now restricted to this much area. Okay. Now what is it saying? That the rest of Asia and the rest of Asia also has to be excluded. Excluding Russia's Far East region and Arabian Peninsula, the rest of Asia and its offshore and near seas area. Okay, I'm sorry, but the rest of Asia and the near seas region have to be combined. Now, as we see this map, this is the rest of the Asia. Okay, so all the seas and offshore region have to be combined. So what we will find in the exact center. So for your convenience, we have tried to put the labeling on the map, and as you see, we have Altai mountains, Pamir, Taklamakan desert over here, and here are the Himalayas. So we have the similar four options, and if we draw a circle from this region to offshore regions, okay, so try to make it a little bigger, offshore region and seas combined. In the exact middle, we have Altai mountains. Okay, so the correct answer to this question is the Altai ranges. Alright, let's try to move forward. Congratulations to those who have answered it correctly. Who have not answered it correctly, kindly look at your map and try to have similar questions in mind. The next question is based on the news when the undersea volcanic eruption in Tonga happened and the explosion was felt globally. This was one of the rarest explosions. We have also covered it in our in-news series. So this explosion was so loud, so clear that even in Chennai, we could hear the audible ranges. The audiometer could have its sound recorded. And Chennai is 13,000 kilometers away from Tonga. Similarly, for the US also, it was very much audible. And of course, in the near region of that, it was also audible. And this was because of an undersea volcanic eruption, which gave rise to not only earthquakes, but also tsunamis. So that is why this question is very important. You should know even in the mains examination of UPSC this year, volcanic eruptions were asked in your GS mains papers. So be very careful with the kind of news you are covering. Okay, so do read about it, and before reading, you can go to our Drishti English YouTube channel and look at the explosion, why the Tonga volcanic eruption was so explosive. There is a science behind that. We have covered that in our in-news series. Okay, so now moving on. Based on that only, we have a question. Due to plate tectonics, that means the movement of the plates, these are the many continental plates, they keep on moving because of the weakness of the asthenosphere. Because of the weakness of the asthenosphere on which the plates reside, they tend to move and because of that they sometimes collide and give rise to many earthquakes, because they cause disturbance, collision, diversion, submergence. Everything gives rise to some or the other kind of distortion in our crust. So this is the entire study which is known as plate tectonics. Earthquakes occur frequently in this oceanic region. Plate tectonics, oceanic region, earthquakes occur. Mainly the southern part, and its main causes, why is it happening, are volcanic eruptions in its peripheral region and intra-oceanic volcanic eruptions. High frequency tsunamis also occur due to these reasons, and the region is home to thousands of islands and mainly several island arcs. And as a result of tectonics, the world's deepest trenches are also present here. The region mentioned is, we have from the very beginning, whenever we start with our earthquake chapter, we always tend to read about what? We always tend to read about the ring of fire in the Pacific Rim. So whenever you understand about the plate tectonics, something you must be very thorough with is the Pacific region, that is ring of fire. So if we look at this particular map, this is showing you the ring of fire, and this region is very volatile in nature when it comes to plate tectonics because of subduction. When one plate is denser than the other, and it tends to, I'm trying to draw it here, this is plate 1, this is plate 2. This is denser than the second plate, so it tends to go beneath the second plate, which gives rise to magma and distortion. And that is why this region, when the oceanic plates get subducted under the continental plates, this happens a lot. And this region, as you can see, sees a lot of collision with respect to plates of ocean getting under the or beneath the, as a form of subduction, under the continental plates. So this entire region is known as Pacific Ring of Fire. So the question was saying that which at present, the region mentioned is at present, if we talk about the entire sentence, group of sentences, the paragraph is giving the biggest answer over here. Specifically in the southern region, we see a lot of earthquake activities, of which Tonga Trench is also a part, Mariana Trench, Challenger Deep. These are very deep trenches that are found in the Pacific Ocean, North Pacific Ocean, and Tonga Trench, as you can see, is in the South Pacific Ocean. So, of course, the Pacific Ring of Fire is our answer, and the straight clear answer is Pacific Ocean. Okay. Now, let's move on with our next question, which says, consider the following pairs. We have to match the relief with the location they are found at. Tonga Trench, we have already talked about Tonga Trench, so try to recall it. Tonga Trench in South Pacific Ocean, Azores Triple Junction in North Pacific Ocean, Kuril-Kamchatka Trench at Atlantic Ocean. So we have to see which of these pairs is or are correctly matched. Tonga Trench, as we have already discussed about, is in the South Pacific Ocean. This is the Pacific Ocean. Okay. And here we have the Atlantic. So yes, Tonga Trench is in the South Pacific Ocean. First pair is correctly matched. Next we have Azores Triple Junction. So Azores Triple Junction is actually a junction. It's a tri-junction made of Eurasian, North Atlantic and African plate. So that is why it is called a tri-junction, and it is mainly found in the Azores Island, the region of Azores Island. And here we see, where is Azores? This is the Azores Plateau and Azores Island. This is the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Okay. So this is North Atlantic, Eurasia and Africa. This is a tri-junction. Okay. So as you can see, it's North Atlantic, but here it is written North Pacific Ocean. So this becomes incorrect. You can also try elimination with the same method that I have been teaching since a long period of time. Wherever you see one is present, you can eliminate where 1 is not there. So only 2 can be eliminated, 2 and 3 can be eliminated. Okay, then we have Azores triple junction. Of course, it is not present in the North Pacific but North Atlantic. So second becomes incorrect. Okay, so we can see through the method of elimination itself, we found that option B is the correct answer. Okay, but Kuril-Kamchatka, let's see where is it. Kuril-Kamchatka is basically, I'm trying to make it more clear by rubbing the markings that we have marked in the last question. Here we have the Kamchatka and Kuril Trench, North Pacific. Okay, so here it was written Atlantic Ocean, which is incorrect. So the correct answer is option B. Let's move on to the next question, which says US Embassy in Iraq's capital Baghdad was attacked recently. Okay, so as we have been seeing, because of the attack in Abu Dhabi as well, the West Asian region or the Middle East region, West Asia is synonymous with Middle East, it is coming in the news all over again. And trust me, if you're not well versed with the map of West Asia, nobody can save you when questions like this is going to come. So we have to understand the importance of mapping with respect to West Asia, because West Asia is very important for India from the perspective of when our migrant laborers, skilled and unskilled, go there, work there, and we have remittances, that means increase in foreign exchange, more and more soft diplomacy, soft power, cultural diplomacy we can actually implement through the help of migrant laborers, skilled and unskilled. So why West Asia is very important? Because India has a very robust relation. And if they will bicker amongst each other, it will not be in favor of India. That we have covered today itself in our new series. You can go and watch there as well. So because of the volatility of this region, which of the following countries share or shares a border with both Saudi Arabia and the Persian Gulf? So these are the many options: Iraq, Iran, Kuwait and Jordan. And we have to select the correct answer using the codes. But before that, let's have a look at the map. So we have to see which country has a border with both Saudi Arabia and Persian Gulf. This is the Persian Gulf. Okay. Here. So as you can see, Persian Gulf and Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has a border with many countries like Jordan. Okay. Then we have Iraq. Alright. Then we have Kuwait. We also have Qatar, UAE, Oman, Yemen. Okay. So now we have to remove those countries which do not have a border with Persian Gulf. So Jordan goes out of the picture. Then of course Yemen goes out of the picture. Oman goes out of the picture. Now here we can see we have Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan. Okay. So Jordan was gone. Iraq. Yes, Iraq has a very short border with Persian Gulf. This is also sharing the borders with Saudi Arabia. So this is correct. Iraq is going to be one of our answers. 1. So please eliminate those options which do not have 1. Option C has been eliminated because it doesn't have 1. Then we see Iran. Let's see Iran. Now Iran does not share a border with Saudi Arabia but the Persian Gulf. So of course Iran is going to be out of the picture. Any option which has 2 should be eliminated. Okay, this is eliminated, and also all of the above is eliminated, because if all of the above is the answer, then Iran wouldn't be there. So now we have a clear-cut answer, 1 and 3. This is elimination and also the apt knowledge. So Kuwait, let's see, this is going to be of course sharing a border with Saudi Arabia, and here is Kuwait with Saudi Arabia and Persian Gulf. Okay, so this becomes correct, 1 and 3. And let's see Jordan. Jordan was of course out of the picture from the very beginning. Option B is going to be the correct answer. Let's move forward and talk about another sort of question which can be formulated with the same news. Which of the following countries is not politically a part of the Arabian Peninsula? Arabian Peninsula is a peninsula which consists of many countries. And these countries are here listed as, we have Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, United Arab Emirates, Oman, Yemen. So you can see the list of the countries, you can also memorize them. Now, which country is not here? Kuwait is, of course, a part of, sorry for this mistake, it's Arabia. Kuwait is a part of, Saudi Arabia is a part of, and Qatar is also a part of Arabian Peninsula. So option D will be the correct answer because it is not politically a part of Arabian Peninsula. Let's move forward and talk about our next question. Because of the increasing cyber attacks, alleged cyber attacks by Russia on Ukraine, this question will be asked. And Ukraine is very much in the news. So be very careful with respect to Ukraine. Ukraine is very upset with the mobilization of troops near its regions, near its borders. And already in 2014, Russia got a hold of a region of Ukraine, that is Crimea. And because Russia does not want the expansion of NATO with respect to Ukraine and all the other European regions, that is why Russia wants a legal contract sort of, or a legal assurity that NATO will not expand and Ukraine will be bonded culturally, historically and politically with Russia. So Ukraine will be in the news. Ukraine has been in the news and will be in the news for a long period of time. Be very careful. So there was a cyber attack in Ukraine as well as the deployment of Russian army. It has been increased regarding the Crimean crisis. So this is the entire issue, and there has been a deadlock with respect to the talks about Ukraine between the West and Russia. There is an impending, it might not happen because it's not in the interest of anyone, but a war might be impending. But the issue is, US has a lot of enemies right now, from China to Russia, North Korea, then we also have Iran. So many regions are important, a systemic threat for the US. That is why these areas should be covered through maps very thoroughly. Draw a circle whose centers will be London and the peripheral point. Center is London. Peripheral, that means the outer point will be Budapest, which is the capital of Hungary. And state which of the following countries will be completely outside. Not partially, completely outside the area of the circle. So for that we need a map. Now this is the map where we have to put London. This is London in the center. And where is Budapest? Here is Budapest, the capital of Hungary. Okay. So it should be in the center and peripheral should be this area. I'm trying to draw a circle with the similar demands. So here if we draw a circle like this. Okay, my circle is very bad, but still the center is London and peripheral is Budapest. Which country falls completely out of the circle? France is there inside the circle and so is Italy. We did have these two options. So France and Italy can be crossed out. We have Germany and Ukraine. Okay, so here again, where is Germany? Here is Germany and here is Ukraine. So all these three, they lie within the circle, but Ukraine lies completely outside. So the correct answer is option D. Okay, let's move forward and talk about our next question. Now again, consider the following pairs: relief and location, Carpathian Mountains with Western Ukraine, Tatra Mountains, Poland, and Brittany Peninsula, UK or Great Britain. Okay, so as you can see, UK of Great Britain, we have to have the correct answer with respect to these pairs. So as we see Carpathian Mountains, yes, here is Carpathian Mountains. This is correct. It lies in the Western Ukrainian region. Then we can say 1, wherever we do not have 1, we can eliminate this. Option B is eliminated. Now Tatra Mountains in Poland. Let's see where is Tatra Mountain. Here is Tatra Mountains in Poland. This is also correct. So now again, first and second are correct. And let's see where is Brittany Peninsula. Also whichever option doesn't have to, we can eliminate it. Now we have something that 2 options are there. AN, of course, D. Let's see. Here is Brittany Peninsula, which is actually a part of France and not England. So of course, what happens? That option 3 is incorrect. Option 1 and 2nd. Option 3, that means this pair is incorrect. First and second are correct. Option A is going to be the correct answer. Let's move forward and talk about the next question. Now, these days, the process of constitutional amendment is going on in Serbia. So, have a map and where you can see Serbia. Meanwhile, Kosovo's parliament has passed a resolution that it will not allow votes on its amendment in the territory. That is why these two countries are in the news. That is why we should be very careful with the relief, the geographical features of these two countries. Why? Because it could be asked in your examination. So, as we see, now we have to match the country with the region they are found at. Somaliland, Horn of Africa. Kosovo, Western Europe. Abkhazia, Asia, Europe transition zone. So now we have to match. We have to see which pair is or are correctly matched. So now we have to see which of these countries are correctly matched with the region. So if we talk about Horn of Africa is found in the Eastern Africa region, and it's a group of countries. Eritrea is a part of it, Ethiopia is a part of it, and also Somalia is a part of it. One more country is also a part of it. You can comment the name in the comment section. So, Somaliland, of course, will be forming a part of Horn of Africa. So, as you can see, this is Horn of Africa. Okay. Eritrea is also part of it. It is not visible in this map. So, yes, Somaliland is a self-declared independent state. And it's because of the presence of it in Horn of Africa, our first pair is correctly matched. So, we can see one is correctly matched. Whichever option doesn't have one, we can eliminate that. Kosovo, in Western Europe, let's see where Kosovo is. Now, this is Europe and this is Kosovo. Okay, it's a country here which is bordered by North Macedonia, Albania, Montenegro, Serbia and Bulgaria. I hope you are able to see it again. This is Kosovo, North Macedonia, Albania, then we have Montenegro, Serbia. Bulgaria doesn't have a border, so we have Serbia, Montenegro, Albania and North Macedonia. Alright, so it's a landlocked country. Be very careful with this, okay? Then it is not a part of Western Europe. It's basically Southeastern Europe, right? So of course, that becomes incorrect. Second is incorrect. So whichever option has second, we can eliminate that. All of the above has been eliminated and option A has been eliminated. Now we have a clear-cut answer over here, that is 1 and 3. Abkhazia in Asia Europe transition zone. Let's see where is Abkhazia. Although we have the correct answer, we should see where Abkhazia is. So near the Black Sea, bordered by Russia and Georgia. Basically, it's a transition zone. There we have Abkhazia. So it's a transition zone and the pair third becomes correctly matched. Alright. What do we have in the pair? Asia Europe transition zone, Abkhazia. Let's move forward and talk about our next question. Before that, let's see what is the news. Now the emigration, that means moving out, of thousands of people from Honduras and Nicaragua to the Americas, which were stopped in Guatemala. This next question will be in the news. See, because of the dire situation and many push and pull factors are there when people from the Latin American countries, Central American countries start to move from the Southern American regions to America. The states are actually the region of dreams, the giver of dreams, fulfiller of dreams. That is why it happens a lot. So that is why it is important that we know the geographical boundaries of these regions. Question is, if a person wants to go to the United States of America by land route, not sea, but land route from Brazil, then he will not need to pass through which of the following countries? Not need to pass. That means we have to pick those countries which he or she should pass. These are the many options, and let's see the map first. So from Brazil, this is Brazil, the person will move to Colombia, and now the person cannot take any sea route. So we have land route, Colombia, then Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, Guatemala, and then of course Mexico. And here we see Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua. So we have Panama, yes. Then we have to see Guatemala is there or not. Okay, Guatemala is also there. Yes, this is correct. Will not need to. So Guatemala is also the correct answer. Then El Salvador. El Salvador won't be in the way. Yes, El Salvador is not over here. Okay, so not need to pass. We have El Salvador, Panama, the person will pass, Ecuador and Venezuela. Venezuela is over here, no. Ecuador, no. So we have a clear-cut answer over here. We have to take out the regions that a person will pass through. Guatemala, okay, and of course Panama. Let's see, Ecuador and Venezuela, 4 and 5 should be in the answer. Yes, 4 and 5. Yes. So the person will not move through El Salvador, Ecuador and Venezuela. The correct answer should be 2, 4 and 5. That is option B. Okay. Now let's move forward and talk about our next question. Now it is with relevance to Indian maps. Okay. And in Indian maps, what should we be careful of? Mountains, hills and ranges, specifically of the northeastern region. Many of you might get very overwhelmed when you see the ranges, hills, reliefs, rivers of the northeastern region and South Indian regions. So continuously try to revise these two regions with respect to ranges and rivers. Alright, and specifically wildlife reserves, tiger reserves, national parks, wildlife sanctuary. Okay, so which of the following are related to the main flow of the Krishna river? Harishchandra range, Balaghat, Nallamalla, Telangana, Seschalam. Seschalam hills, I hope you know where they are. And here we have the map which will show you the different ranges. So here is Harishchandra and Balaghat. Okay. And here is Bhima river, which is a tributary of Krishna. But the question has asked that which of the ranges lie at the main river. That means main river flow is Krishna river. So Krishna river is going from here, and as you can see that this is Telangana plateau, and here in Andhra Pradesh we have Seschalam. Okay, and this is Vellikonda range and Palakonda. So we have to see that Nallamalla, this is going to be the incorrect answer and this is going to be incorrect answer. And Seschalam will also be the incorrect answer. Now because of elimination, I could see that Nallamalla and Telangana plateau are going to be the correct answer. Here is Telangana plateau, okay, which is at nearest of the Krishna river, main flow of the Krishna river. And if we talk about Nallamalla, that lies in Telangana. Okay, so both are correct. Option 3 and 4 are going to be the correct answer. That is option B, right? Just seeing if I'm missing something very important. No. Okay, let's move on and talk about our next question. Now, according to the most recent forest survey, the presence of only one tiger has been observed in Kaval Tiger Reserve. That is why this is in the news. And after these questions have been raised on the security and recognition of the reserve, that means if there is only one tiger, what are the issues? Why is there only one tiger? What is the reason? Is there any sort of under recognition that has been given to Kaval? So these are the many questions shrouding the Kaval region. So as we can see, Kaval Tiger Reserve, Sariska Tiger Reserve and Palamu is given over here. Deccan Plateau, Kaval, Sariska Chota Nagpur Plateau and Palamu Aravali range. Let us see that where are all these tiger reserves formed. This is the options that we have. So if we talk about 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 lies in Telangana region. Okay, 𝐃𝐫𝐢 is in the Telangana region, and of course Telangana is a part of Deccan Plateau. So first pair is definitely correctly matched. Whichever option doesn't have one, we can eliminate that. Only one gets eliminated. Then Sariska, we already know that it is in Rajasthan, but it is not a part of Chota Nagpur Plateau. Chota Nagpur Plateau is not in Rajasthan. Rajasthan is not a part of it. Here is Chota Nagpur Plateau, and here we have Sariska. So second is incorrectly matched. Okay, so this becomes incorrectly matched. Whichever option has two can be eliminated. Then we have only 1 and 1 and 3 only. So we see that the third pair is Palamu. Palamu is in Jharkhand, and it's the only tiger reserve of Jharkhand. So this is Palamu, and it is not in the Aravalli range. Aravalli range is in the northwestern part of India. So that becomes incorrect. Aravalli runs from here, right? So becomes incorrect. So the correct answer should be only first, because third is also incorrectly matched. Only first is the correct answer. Let's move forward. Here option B is the correct answer. Now Arunachal Pradesh's 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 Tiger Reserve is at the forefront of forest cover. Here you got the important fact from Forest Survey of India's Indian State of Forest Report. And that is where the next question will be asked. So Kali at coniferous pine forest. Then we have 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢, warm evergreen forest, and Simlipal, tropical semi-evergreen forest. We have to see which of the following pairs are correctly matched. With respect to Kali is actually Dandeli Anshi itself. Okay. Here. Yes, here it is Dandeli Anshi. Anshi Tiger Reserve is actually Kali. It has been renamed. So how can we find coniferous forest over here? This is incorrect. Okay. So first becomes incorrect. Whichever has first and all of the above and this thing should be eliminated. Now we have of course a clear-cut answer, 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 and Simlipal. So 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢, warm evergreen forest. As you can see, 𝐃𝐫𝐢𝐬𝐡𝐭𝐢 is over here in Arunachal Pradesh, which is also known as Pakhui. Okay, but tell me one thing. Pakhui, is it lying in the warm tropical forest? Warm evergreen forest is correct. And with respect to Simlipal of course is in the tropical semi-evergreen forest region because it is lying in Odisha. Okay. So again here we have Simlipal in Odisha. This is correct. 2 and 3 is going to be the correct answer. Let's move forward and talk about the next question. Heavy rain has been observed in many areas of Telangana due to thunderstorms, and that is where the next question will be asked. And this will be, according to this question, which of the following cities will be closest to the Indian Standard Timeline compared to the other three? We have Bangalore, Indore, Jaipur and Hyderabad. So let's see. This is the international timeline. Okay. And it passes through Mirzapur, part of Uttar Pradesh. And if with respect to this particular line, let's see if we have the correct answer in our hands. First, this is the timeline of India. Jaipur, Bangalore. Let's see about Jaipur. Jaipur can't ever be the answer if we compare the city of Jaipur with respect to other cities. Then we have Bengaluru over here. Okay. So Jaipur is over here. Bengaluru is over here. Then what do we have? We have Indore and Hyderabad. So here is Indore. Okay. So Indore is over here. And then we have Hyderabad. If we compare the lines of these cities, we can see Hyderabad is the closest to the timeline of India. So here also we have the clear-cut answer. Option D is the correct one. Alright. Now let's move on to our practice question for the next segment, which says, which of the following options would indicate the pair of countries whose capitals are almost at the same latitude? Okay, so I hope you'll be answering it correctly in the comment segment. That's it for today. Tomorrow, we will meet again with different segments, and the next time I will come up with the episode number 6 of News on Maps. Stay updated, stay safe, and thank you so much for watching.